Hello, welcome to Shadow Reads. I know it's been a while since we've all gotten together, but welcome Hershey and welcome Michelle.
I'm a little bit off camera.
Okay, there is some sound. Hershey was miming to the camera, and I thought the microphone was still off.
I just keep saying hi.
So, tonight, I will be doing subconscious reads. Hershey will be doing, or I will be doing conscious reads. Hershey will be doing unconscious reads, and Michelle will give you an energy of an oracle card. So if you want to, just type a me and we'll get you in the list for a shadow reading.
Welcome back to
How
the
was your day
Shadow
today,
Reads.
Michelle?
It's been a while since you've done these. My day was really nice. It wasn't too bad at work. Thank you for asking.
You're good. You're fine.
Trying to figure out the easiest way to
And I
shuffle
know you
these
had
cards.
For me, I always do the hand over hand, like hand
Uh-huh.
over hand.
yeah,
But I just
round
take
cards.
a little
Well,
at a
odd
time.
shaped
I
cards
try to
are
take like
difficult to
half
shuffle anyway.
at a time.
That would probably be very helpful. See, tips like this are
Baby,
always appreciated. Ooh, even a little at a time, I could
Ronnie, you
ripple on
want to tell
this.
people hi? You want to say
All right.
Ron's chattering over here.
I got Sir Cole. It's just he's starting to warm up to the camera, y'all. He'll be on camera pretty soon all the time as
Hmm.
a little mascot. Him and Ron as our little mascots. Sir Cole and Ron. Yeah, yeah. Your Highnesses. Oh my goodness.
Well, I know you had a good hearty lunch today. You had chicken noodle soup and cream beans and cornbread.
Mhm.
Was it good?
It was good. It was good. I was fighting my I have this thing with pasta. Not a big pasta fan. I do like pasta, but when I look at it as there aren't very many nutritional benefits from it, and then when if it's made with enriched flour stuff, I have this just I don't want it, but I'm trying to be more open to all that. So the noodles that it was good. It was good.
Same for the artificial
Yeah.
or pre-digested. Meals on Wheels, they do pasta quite often, and the reheating method in the little um, microwavable tray with the cello on top does not
Hmm.
allow it to reheat um, with a very good texture.
Well, I typically
So
like to
I
reheat
fight
it.
that every once in a while.
Well, do you do it? Do you reheat it on full power? Hi, Miss Moonlight. Because if full power like nukes it, you need to reheat it with like 7% power, or you know, and it reheats
Well,
its
it
more.
depends. Thank you, Miss Moonlight. I have your request.
How are you, beautiful? I miss you so much. I need to reach out and check in and check on you. I have been busy. Ooh, I made chicken and noodles and
Well,
green
Hi, handsome.
beans and
it would be
corn. It was so good.
Okay, baby.
Miss Moonlight. It would be so much better if the pasta started out al dente, but they've already overcooked it and it's limpy and not
Beef.
to tooth.
Ooh, I think this one's for Miss Moonlight.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like if you tried to spear it
Actually,
with a fork, you
I'm a
go right through it because it cuts it.
okay, now I'm asking for
Hello, Janet Lee. How are you today?
hey Janet.
Hey, Janet.
Yeah, mushy pasta is no good to me. Um, I like. I guess the only way to describe it is al dente because then, like, if you have
This
leftovers
one.
and reheat it, um, it's at that done stage, but not overly done and limp.
Oh, stop.
So Miss Moonlight is our first.
Sir.
Janet, if you want a reading, just type me and we'll put you in the queue.
So I noticed the
Miles
clown.
has Hershey on task tonight.
Oh yeah.
So, uh,
So Thomas, when you're ready, you go first, and then Michelle will read the Oracle archetype, um, and then I will do the subconscious. So I'm last. We'll just kind of go like this.
okay. First deck I'm going to pull out of is Hieronymus Bosch. And let me pull up Miss Moonlight. So the first card is called Virgin Mother. It's from the Hieronymus Bosch deck. And this is Virgin Mary holding the little baby Jesus. And I think, Miss Moonlight, that this is for your ultimate compassion and your unconditional love of people and passions. And what a good energy to be around, because you're not ever trying to hurt or harm somebody with words or intentions or deeds. Um, and it makes you, the bad point of it is it makes you seem like you're approachable for everybody's woe is me stories. So I have a feeling that that compassion um, sometimes gets you dumped on. Um, not always, but sometimes. So if you go with that energy, just remember the caution about being everybody's friend, and everybody and their brother will come to you for advice and um, confidential handling of things. The next card I got for you is number 20 from the Lenormand, from the Under the Roses Lenormand, and you have the garden. So this is a community card, celebrations and get-togethers and gatherings. So a garden is a nice place to sit and meditate, and eventually, if you stay there long enough, all your friends will come by and celebrate what a wonderful day it is in the garden and in the city as a whole. And the future card, the not the future card, the third card is from Necromonicon deck. and you get the void. And the void reminds us that even though it appears as nothing's going on or nothing interesting is happening around us, we need to take those times to self reflect and put into cohesive thoughts and wordings in your brain for all those thousands of messages that wander through the hamster wheel head that we have as humans. Just make sure that you stay on the positive side of the self-talk, that you're very gentle with yourself, and you're not overcritically viewing events that you're contemplating. And that's what I have for the conscious site.
Okay. I don't know how to scroll on
Michelle,
this.
would you like to pull an oracle for Miss Moonlight?
Yeah, so when I first started to shuffle, one jumped. So I think this is, and then I asked for a card for Miss Moonlight and I got two. So I'm going to read them both anyways. The first one I think is a really good message for now, like just for everybody, the orphan. To study the orphan is to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We are ever more connected, yet face collective isolation. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from parents, and the earth begs for our attention. We are in a time of universal orphanage, of nature, of each other, of our own hearts. Take refuge in the fact that we all share this core wound and dilemma. It is normal to fear this card as it haunts the caverns of the soul. When it appears, take time, real time, to be in the presence of the feelings this card stirs in you. Let it humble you. What are you starving for? What is the deepest gift you could imagine giving to others? What has been rejected is quite possibly what is most needed, dear one. So, like I was saying, it jumped before it was like, let's just start it off, you know? But then the father jumped out for you, Miss Moonlight. So, father energy. The father, and I'm just reading, sorry. Alongside the mother, the father resides in the central axis of the archetypal family. The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine. Thus, he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet, ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the Father eventually reveals that he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and one who leaves us to the wolves. Here, yet gone. The champion and the failure. The Father can never resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in the archetype itself. Witnessing the Father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. So it's supportive, strategic, regal, kind, and authority, yet disappearing and can be devastated by failures. So that's just some of the energy I guess I'm picking up around you. I'm trying to learn how to apply this with a shadow read.
So you, well, it for me, when you look at those as archetypes, we all have some part of our life where we felt possibly like an orphan, or some of us, both of our parents are dead, and we are officially an orphan. You
Uh-huh.
know, or there are different ways to struggle with that, depending on what your traumatic childhood or a young adult life could have possibly been like. If some of us have, like, I have a walk away Joe kind of dad, that would represent maybe one
Hi,
of the
baby.
reasons I struggle in that area
Run,
is
run,
because I've
run,
already got a
run.
walk away Joe. father. I don't know what
Mhm.
that's like. I
Mhm.
maybe been jealous of people
Mhm.
that have a relationship or even have a dad in their life, regardless of the relationship that they have. So when you look at it as a possible conscious shadow, you're looking at how the two kind of play with each other and where is it hiding for people. So it's actually the archetype itself.
Mhm.
So your key points are always going to be with Kim Grant, for example, the red. When you see this red, that's what she's really trying to make the simplest. And it's kind of like,
Become a student of this masculine energy. Watch the father in movies, in Shakespeare plays. See the father as a pattern, not as personal. So you have the father energy around you.
I think we're getting ready to have a
face to
show
interpret it.
regard.
That's where I struggle, and you guys see, and this is good practice for me, but that's kind of why I back away from these sometimes because I have to learn how to apply it to what you're asking, like a subconscious or a conscious read. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to imply that, and the father can be anything. It doesn't have to be a father per se. I mean, it's just the energy of it, right? So, um, maybe lack of commitment or somebody who's there but gone. I'm not sure, but I hope that you got something out of it, Miss Like now I feel like I feel like I'm bringing you guys down.
Hi, John.
Bluetooth mode.
Hi, everybody coming in. Stinky and
Hi,
hello,
John.
hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay, your
So,
turn, Hershey.
so
Michelle, if you don't know, John is Fatima's brother.
Oh, hi.
hello, hello. So
Very talented. He's got
I'm
an
kind of
album
doing
coming
a
out.
type two, but this one is a
Musician,
hidden
great
archetype.
guitarist, great voice.
Sorry, I thought you were done, bro. Go ahead. Ronnie.
What, baby? Am I not paying any attention to
Okay,
you? I
so
am.
I'm doing one of those hidden archetypes, right? And I had no idea that they were going to have me go all over the place, right? So basically, I'm in your subconscious, and what I'm doing is I'm basically checking kind of like not the four corners, but like literally your north, your south, your east, and your west, right? Like, let's look at the west and the east as something that is either yet to come or it's recently happened, right? So we're not going to say necessarily it's the past or the present or it's the future, right? It's just floating somewhere around you. And I'm not exactly sure where it's going to come in at. But what I do know is the energy of it is kind of guaranteed and promised to come in, right? Because I don't usually do shadow work with tarot cards, but of course Miles has to have his way about everything. So he threw a couple of those tarot cards
Bluetooth
in there,
mode.
right? And it was specifically the two decks that I am kind of stuck on right now, and that is the Unveiled Tarot, and then my all-time favorite, which is the Peacock, the Sword and the Peacock, right? So when you think
Bluetooth
about the
mode.
Unveiled and you think about all the possibilities of this Eight of Cups, right? And there's having a big old celebration here, but what he really wants is a high dive somewhere far away all by himself. No audience. There's nobody watching him on this high
Bluetooth
dive,
mode.
right? He absolutely wants the celebration of the Eight of Cups and he wants to reel in all of the goodness that comes with that Eight of Cups, but he's also kind of on the inside starving for maybe just a little bit of I want to do something just for me, right? That's why surfers get out there and surf. They don't always need an audience. They just need a wave, right? Or people that do biking or climbing or whatever it is, it's usually some form of an adrenaline or an agility kind of thing, right? But they paired it with the Ace of Swords, right? So these are things that are possibly going to be removed from your thoughts so that you can get out there and not worry about this part so much, right? This is all great, fine, and dandy, but there's a lot of other things to go with that, right? Like clean up, making a list, possibly cooking food, having to realize that you might have to answer doors or you might have to host this thing. there's more to this celebration than maybe you're really wanting to put into it, but you want to remember to celebrate it on your own too, because this ace, this promise that's coming in, it's coming in for the whole self, right? So this whole self is coming in there, and when you think about this as a shadow aspect, when you're dealing with that subconscious part of your mind, you have to realize that with this being the 9 year, we are dealing with the 4 and the 5. Now you can get your 9 however you want, but for me, it's all about that 5, which is us, right? That's torso and these 5 appendages, a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs,
Bluetooth
right?
mode.
But it's also that 4 for that foundation, that stability. When we put them together, we get that 9 for that wholeness, right? So all of this all together is going to come in really good, but it's only because of some work that you have to do. So in order for that promise to come into fulfillment, there is going to be some purging going on, right? So here is a possible powerful archetype that you have hidden somewhere, and it's literally about the roots, right? So and look what he paired with it, feet and mushroom. So he's literally wanting you to get under the ground, right? He's wanting you to get so deep into them roots. He's wanting you to touch parts you probably didn't even know existed. Like, you got to find things that trigger them hidden doors. If you're not digging deep enough, it's not going to happen. You're not going to activate those hidden doors, and we all have them. Nobody is exempt, nobody is perfect. It's not going to happen. Everybody has them. Everybody. And it doesn't matter how old you are, they can come in at any time. They can start being built by our subconscious without our conscience, our present, even knowing that it's happened. One day we just snap. We don't know what triggered us. Some days we have an anger issue. Some days we have this, some days we have that. We don't always understand what is triggering those underlying hidden doors underneath our subconscious. But if you get in there and you find a way to open them up and get all of them weeds out, that's what it's all about, right? So when I was reading about this card, right, because not that it pairs well with anything, but what I did find, what they do with
Bluetooth mode.
what I did find is that the best part of this is it says this is necessary. This is a mandatory purge. This is about purification and cleansing, right? Not cleaning. No, we're not talking about cleaning and cleaning up or none of that or tidying the house. No, we're talking about a full cleanse of that subconscious, right? We are decluttering it, we are taking charge, and we are ridding, right? We are ridding it. We are putting it in a pile and we are not going through it. We are not taking anything salvageable. We are literally burning it to ash. It is done. We have to do this, right? Right after you figure out, and it's not going to be easy, like I said, how to figure out. It may only be one, or we may have more than that. Depending on your level of trauma, is going to be the amount of doors that we have trapped up inside of that subconscious that we're not aware of, right? So once you figure out how to do it, you do have the ability because everything fell in the upright position. So because of that, and it's following the ace, what's on the other side of that is also a gorgeous little hint, and the hint comes with uh, 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 a spirit animal. So you have a coyote coming in, right? But this well, right? This absolute wishing well that makes this ace come back
Bluetooth
into
mode.
fulfillment, plus maybe some kind of abundance on the other side of it, or maybe even it's got one of them little free gifts that you didn't see coming. What they want you to realize is that it's going to happen when you see the coyote. Whether the coyote
Bluetooth
shows up in a
mode.
cartoon or a movie or a dream, or a real life coyote crosses your path depending on where you live, or maybe even hearing the call or the howl or the laugh or the cackle of one. Something about a coyote is going to let you know it is time. It is very close. It's coming. As soon as you hear that, though, that's when they need you to reflect, right? You need to get as still as you can. You got orbs and stillness coming in, right?
Bluetooth mode.
So that's the moment when you see the coyote, when you see the representation of the coyote, it's at that moment that you're going to get still right then and there, because you may find a secret way to get to that door that you don't even have to trigger the emotions, but you have to put in the work and you have to be patient. And that's what I've got for you, babe.
Okay, so I
I
want to just
apologize.
I switched decks right now because I feel like the other one like Miss Moonlight was saying that it was pretty deep, But so this one is I have to give her another
She
finish the
gets a
read.
bonus.
She does. I pulled the Green Witch's Oracle deck. So Miss Moonlight, you have the oak tree. The oak tree is power, courage, and strength. Is there something you've been avoiding because of the fear of confrontation? The oak tree is a popular symbol of strength. The wood is dense and durable, reliable, and long lasting. The tree symbolizes power and bravery, telling you that you can stand up to whatever storm is on the horizon. It begins as a tiny acorn, and it's reassuring to know that something so immense and strong started out as something that you can hold between two fingers. Not only does it remind us that small things can yield huge results, it also reminds us that growing takes time. Rapid growth uses energy to reach a goal quickly. Slow growth uses energy to ensure stable, strong development. The oak tree card urges you to be brave and to stand tall. So perhaps there's something that you've been avoiding. However, stand tall and remember that you got this.
I like that. Yay. Yay, yay, yay.
Okay. So we're gonna just put these archetypes away right now until I learn what they mean.
You did really good with them.
I read the book really well. I'm shooting myself short. I won't do that.
You are not shooting yourself short. You're not. You just don't see what everyone else sees yet because you're not ready to see it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to see it when it's meant for you to see it.
Right.
I don't know where Brother Thomas went. There's no telling.
Oh no. I just realized he's gone.
He
Sorry.
will be back. If anybody wants to read, just put me in the comments. I don't know if anybody has already or not outside of Miss Moonlight.
Not sure who's here.
So you see where it says starred up there at the top?
Mm-hmm.
Click on that button and see who he's got starred.
Rossi and Jonathan.
Okay.
I mean Janet.
Okay, so pick one, Rossi or Janet.
Well, we're gonna go with Rossi.
Okay. Go back to live comment. Rossi.
Blessings, Fatima.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Okay. Let's keep a message for Rossi.
Yeah. If you can't stop knocking them down.
There he is. He's back. We lost you, Brother Thomas.
The munchies kicked in.
Ooh, well, you got two Rossi that jumped together. Are you going first, Thomas?
We got Rossi.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go first. Oh. Where are my layouts? Oh well. That's what I get for going to the kitchen. So Rossi, for you, we're gonna start off with the Necronomicon. And you get the Six of Books. And the Six of Books is all about feeding your mind um, what you're passionate about. And you see all these little stairways coming out of the pages of this book. Um, it's like the internet, the rabbit hole of the internet. When you go to the library, you can, or your own personal library, you can pick out something that interests you, and then you can go down that rabbit hole. Go this way, that way. And that speaks to your multifaceted personality and your multitasking abilities. So I think that's very important part of your makeup that you get leaned upon a lot to handle and fix things because you have such immense knowledge and minutia of the subjects um, that you study. For the Lenormand card, we have the whip, and the whip reminds us um, to keep the repetitive things that we do on a positive note. Um, not not always repetitive things have to be addictions with the whip card, but so just make your normal habits ritual, and that will serve you well because if you do the same things at the same time of each day, weekday or weekend, you know what's coming up, and your routine doesn't throw a cog in the wrench, in the works. Keep that bicycle chain well oiled and going on. The next card is from the Hieronymus Bosch, and you have
Love it.
the Baron. What the birds tell us is don't get involved in petty gossip because the little birds like to talk. And if you know your value and you know the birds around you's value, you will know that they cheap because they are cheap. They don't. They don't. They like to tear down the community or what you're trying to build. You bring a stick to your nest, they'll go to your nest and steal the stick for their nest. So keep away from the gossiping birds. Keep an eye on them when they're on the wire and the conscious side. Michelle, would you like to give a?
So two cards fell together. One is trunk and one was tend or is tend. So the trunk is stability, loyalty, reliability. Tend is maintenance, encouragement, and guidance. So the trunk is to reminding you, um, like a tree, your core has been formed of past experiences as you've grown. Make a list of your core beliefs, who you are, what you hold dear, and what you would never compromise on. This is who you truly are. The trunk card reminds you to stay true to those beliefs to provide a safe, stable place for new experiences to develop. And also 10, the maintenance card comes out saying what areas of your life need support, what areas are threatened by toxicity. So the 10 card is a reminder that you too deserve maintenance. It is important to review the different parts of your life every once in a while with a keen eye, looking for areas that you can tend for positive results. Just as you guide your garden, your energy also deserves loving guidance and encouragement. You may need to weed toxicity out of your life. Be discerning about where you put your energy. Ask for guidance and listen to the messages Spirit sends you. So I think it's Spirit's saying, reminding you this week to think about what your core beliefs are, and perhaps you need to cut out some toxic, whether people or obstacles, maybe even if it's not a person, it could be just tasks, distractions, and it's just telling you to refocus and tend to yourself this week.
I love it. Fine.
Mm.
So instead of starting on your left and right, your west and east, whatever one you want to call it, they want me to start up in the crown area, right? So when you think about why they would want me to start up there, the message is pretty clear, right? So I have a very strong feeling you've been seeing a lot of numbers, right? So you get the Komodo dragon, which is about trust, right? The energy they paired that with synchronicities, right? So I bet you there is a whole lot of repeating numbers that are just showing up, showing up, showing up, showing up, showing up. I need you. It doesn't matter if it's showing up in like 222s or if it's showing up any kind of way. Pay attention to the synchronicity of how many times it shows up, right? Not the ways it shows up. Once you realize how many times they're showing up, then start looking for the pattern. Start recognizing if it is an energy that they're trying to bring you to so that they can bring you into a different mind frame, right? So sometimes when we're one way tracked mind, all of a sudden something pops in our head and we throw it away, but then it comes back and we keep throwing it away, right? So then and right then and there, start paying attention and trusting that you're seeing those synchronicities, those numbers for a reason, specifically the numbers part, right? When you look at your roots, what they want you to understand is there is a decision that has to be made, right? This hangman represents every hangman. Its best way to see this, though, is look, they're deep diving for something, right? They don't know what they're deep diving for, but they're deep diving down there because they know there's something down there. Nobody else has to believe them. Nobody else has to trust it, but they're all going to know it when he comes up, right? Because he took the trust, took the time, and he waited, right? So make sure that you wait. You have the Empress and Ancient William Wisdom, blah, 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 wisdom coming in, right? So you got the Empress, you got Mother Earth herself coming in, and you've got a shaman coming in. So when you think about these two paired together, along with this long dive, this deep dive, this long thought, right? Somewhere in chat the other day, somebody said it, and it's just kind of stuck with me, right? How did they say it? I'm contemplating deeply in contemplation, right?
No, I'm contemplating, deeply contemplating.
Yeah, there's something like that, right? And it's just kind of stuck with me. And I think that's where they're wanting you to go with it, right? And they really want you to take it from your crown, right? That's why they want me to tell you, you really need to trust it. And if you're having any kind of sensations about a Komodo dragon, absolutely go with this reptile. Go with the energy of the Komodo dragon. Trust that that is kind of your sign from them, like I said, and it can show up in any way. It can show up in a book, it can show up in a reading, another reading, it can show up on a TV show. It can show up anywhere, and even including crossing your own path, depending on where you live at, right? So it's all about understanding that you are seeing it up here. Now you need to let it get down into them roots, right? So when you look at what's going on possible or hidden archetypes on both sides of you, right? You got matrimony, right? Well, of course, that's not a bad thing because it's about a bond, right? So, what I think I actually see here is that you are forming that bond from your conscious to the subconscious, right? We have to kind of form like a tunnel to make sure that we can always easily learn to get in and out of that spot, right? It's not a place that we're real comfortable with, right? Not too many people can instantly parallel park, right? Not too many people can instantly learn to trust the beaten path, right? No, most of them want to go to take the one that's got all kinds of light. It's well lit up. It's nice and wide. There's nice room for people to come and go. It's maybe even concrete or asphalt, right? course they want the easy street. But you're going to have to understand that you are building this wall because not only do you need it for your magic got hat, right? And this isn't any hat. This is a warlock hat, a witch's hat. This is a magical hat, right? A thinking hat, so to speak. A hat that can teach you, can guide you, can learn to grow with you. They also want you to understand that you could use a disruption tool, right? So this harp is obviously gorgeous, beautiful music, but it could also represent a disruption tool, right? We use disruption tools for many different things. If you're dealing with a ghost or something, it's real easy. You can tell them to stop, get out, whatever. It don't matter. They'll go away. They might come back. Sometimes it's easier when you have something that you can blow or shake or even strum, right? It makes it easier because then they get carried away in the sound waves and then it takes them longer to get back. So maybe there's a disruption tool that's coming in for you. On the other side, you have infinite paths and curiosity, right? So you have this maple spirit coming in. And not only is maple spirit really strong right now because of the season that we're coming into or that we just came into coming into spring, you have to understand they paired it on your other side with infinite paths. So it may help you know that every time you see that maple tree, a maple leaf, follow it. It may lead you to another path that you yourself are meant to have, and you wouldn't know it if you didn't understand what you were looking for. So trust that maybe the wind isn't blowing just to blow. It could literally be blowing a maple leaf or blowing, and the maple leaf tree is moving the most because it's trying to get your attention. Just pay attention. There has something to do with a big, beautiful tree that is very old, very knowledgeable, and it has something to do with paths. So I would say pay attention on both sides and learn to start trusting the numbers that you're seeing. Don't worry about the pattern yet. The pattern will come once it hits your roots. You will start making sense with the patterns. That's what I've got for you.
Thank you, Miss Moonlight. She provided the song. It's I've been contemplating, thinking about thinking. It's a song.
Oh,
Robbie
well, okay.
Robinson coming.
So I was wrong all the way around.
No, but she knew what you're talking about, and someone said it a little bit differently. But the other day.
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing it with musical notes involved. So it's like it's more like a song, but I did see it in chat, and now it's kind of like just playing in my head, and it's like, oh man, it's like
We'll have to
creating
look that
a
up.
worm. Created a worm. You're welcome, Rossi. All right, all right, all right. Janet, 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 Janet.
Janet Lee G. You're still here, aren't you, Janet?
Hey, stop. Do not do that.
Thank you for confirming.
This is a lifetime connection.
So in the Hieronymus Bosch, you got illumination, which is the hermit. And you see this guy who's sort of locked up in the lamp. That's why we go it alone to go into contemplation. We can be as comfortable as we want. We can be as slovenly as we want until we're sure that we've got the message that was meant for us. You can't use it as a hiding place. Once you've gained your illumination, you need to emerge off the top of the mountain and being a hermit. You still can carry your lamp with you so you don't take missteps. What's coming up and is going to be important for you, Janet Lee? This is the Under the Roses Lenormand, and you have journal. So you've got those written communications coming your way, but you also need to write at least weekly, if not daily, and talk about your desires to yourself. Let Get to know yourself a little bit better. Um, Daydream in your journaling. Put those gorgeous images down that you see, like right before you fall asleep, or in your dreams, and that will help you in your journey of imagination. And out of the Necronomicon deck, we get the Ten of Beakers. So that's that's like the Ten of Cups card, but this is the passion. This is not love. This is the passion of what you're doing. You love the process. You enjoy um, teaching your learnings to others, and once you've taught others, you can feel good about yourself. And it's not teaching for teaching's sake. It's teaching because you want to spread knowledge. So your knowledge in one or two areas can definitely help others. And that's what I have for you, Janet Lee, on the conscious side.
You have to forgive her. She just yelled at her for making all kinds of noise during your read.
Thought I was falling up away.
The mic picks up a lot. I was like, I've been in chat. I know how it sounds. So, anyways, sorry. But so for you, Janet, I have basil, or some people call it basil. I pronounce it basil. Prosperity, luck, and love. Reflection time for you is: have you been scared to take a leap or risk that may pay off greatly? Mhm. So, prosperity, luck, and love. This card means basil is one of the most versatile herbs in a green witch's toolkit. Full of positive energy, it can draw good things into your life. Basil has been known to dispel fear, confusion, or even weakness, and was even used as an aromatic by ancient Greeks to attract love. In this way, basil is all about forward movement. The basil card tells you that the time is right for something that you may have been hesitant about in the past. The time for planning and preparing is over. Go forth with confidence. It is an auspicious time. This is a great moment to indulge in love or take a risk. Basil has your back and luck is on your side. That's the basil card. Go forth.
Beautiful.
So, Janet, we're gonna start on your sides over here.
Now I gotta
So,
yell at Thomas for making noise too. Sorry.
um, so like I said, north, south. I mean, west, east, past, present, future. However you want to look at what's going on your left and your right side. That's where we're starting at, right? So when you think about what's going on over here on the right side, you've got the wounded man coming in, right? So I now this literally for me, I'm I kind of see it going two different ways, right? So when I think about how it actually goes, right? So what I interpreted it on how this is here, I think I see it two different ways because every time I want to see something just according to how they want me to read it, my brain's like, nope, there's two sides to every coin. And I have to understand that there may be another way to see it depending on how it was interpreted by the artist or the creator, right? So there is a way when you see it on one side, it could be a horrible, and it uses the word gruesome but this could be a mortal serious situation, right? But the way that I feel it, I feel more like it's already the lesson learned, right? So when I look at the card, of course, it's absolutely horrible, right? There's open wounds, there's arrows, there's piercings going on that haven't completely taken you out, but they are learning to heal, is what I feel when I see it, right? Whether it was verbal abuse that you heard as a child growing up or whatever, or I'm guilty of it. I've got kids. I'm not the most best parent. I was not no leave it to beaver kind of mom. So my kids heard a lot of verbal word garbage too from me to them. But I gave them what I thought was good parenting because it was discipline, right? Or I felt like I was needing to always have the upper hand in the situation. So sometimes it is a learned pattern that sometimes we don't even learn to recognize until we start actually hearing ourselves back, right? My worst fear was listening and watching one of my videos back. I was, oh my God, no, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, wouldn't do it, wouldn't do it. I don't think I did it until like way after a year and a half of being on YouTube. I wouldn't do it because I knew I was going to criticize myself so hard and be so just like just nitpick the shit out of me, right? And then I heard myself and I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, well, I was already way ahead of myself, criticizing myself, beating myself up, and I didn't even have to, right? So I learned to stop being so action aggressive and I started finding a way to be softer, right? So it can be something that we turn around, right? So when we're thinking about it as a possible hidden shadow that we have been carrying around, it doesn't matter whether it's something that we learned or it's something we actually inquired or ingested as a child and we grew up with hearing abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, all of that, emotional, all of that is all a form of abuse that I myself and many of us that come to this platform have in our life in one way or another. But what they want you to know is that the person you are now is actually healing from this, right? Here's why I say healing from it, because it's in the middle of both of these, right? So even if you broke this one card down and this is you right here in the center, and this is just on one side of you, this could possibly be the representation of a past for you. And then if you take that one and you get rid of it, and then this is book, right? Book is about knowledge, right? But if we're young, some of us can't always read, but then some of us can read, but we can't always comprehend. But then life itself throws us into these experiences and these existences that help us write our own book about our own life and how we grow. And then all of these battle wounds that hurt when we took them in and may possibly still hurt, now we can proudly wear them and understand that we're learning to heal them, right? Because there's this other part of this that says a wounded man or woman will rise above, penetrated by all of the various forms of weaponry formed against them. Although his injuries are severe, he will, she will survive and learn to turn the pain into something else. Be done with it. Understand that that card right there in itself has a double meaning. So I want you to look at the healing part of that. Why? Because the sacrifices are over, right? They literally, on the other side, took all of the sacrifices that you shoulda, coulda, woulda, and they're giving you literally a unicorn. They're giving you a brand new way to see it. You can be proud of all of those scars. No matter how many times people have taken or a horse or something that you see, a dog or something that you see that was abused in some kind of way and you see the scars. Once they get healthy again and they fatten back up, those scars heal, and then we still love them and we kiss on those scars, and we will learn to do that for ourselves as well. Listen to what's coming in your crown, right? Because you have a permanent kindred spirit coming in the animal form. You have an elephant. The elephant represents kindred, right? The chaos card that usually is horrible. Look what they gave you. Um, kindred again. So the word kindred, two different cards, two different decks. Kindred path. Made to walk with you, made, right? So the universe is literally giving you an elephant as a spirit animal to walk with you, to help you. An elephant never forgets, right? They never forget. They have a wonderful memory. So if there's anything that in your mind that you need to get cleaned out, call in that elephant. And once you make that connection, it is a kindred spirit that is not going anywhere. What they want you to understand in your roots is that there is a lot of tending going on, right? You got the Six of Cups coming in paired with Four of Wands, but they, like I said, it's about this little part here in the middle, right? So this middle part, right? Yes, they're standing on top of a wedding cake and great, it's a celebration and it's all wonderful, but don't forget, don't forget each other. Outside of what all of this busy is that's going on in this celebration and this beautiful wedding cake, don't forget each other, right? Don't forget to hold on to each other. Don't forget to believe in each other. It's not about what the actual card represents right now. It's what's in your roots, right? It's the principles, the morals. It's about the portals that are possible down in there. But you have to do the weeds first. You have to do the seeding. You have to plant it. You have to get it out there. That six is not far from the eight. And if you want that nine and that 10 and all of them celebrations and that beautiful family to come in, you have to put the work in right now. But it will come out for you in the end. That's what I've got.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful messages, Hershey and Michelle. Thank you so much. And thank you for our
Let's see what
people
this
who
next
took the
She
chance
said,
and said me.
first she said, thank you,
Thank you, Miss
Thomas.
Moonlight, Miss Rossi,
My goodness, Michelle nailed it.
and
I just
Janet Lee
bought
G.
some road opener powder. Totally nailed it. Basil's my new friend. Then
goodie.
it was road opener powder, like a first, like a, nothing physically on the road. It's just like a powder, like
I
a
have no
path.
idea. Let's
What
find
is
out.
the road opener powder?
Please tell us what that is. Inquiring minds want to
Yeah.
know.
Then she also said, wow, so many peeps I loved were hurt. Tears well up now. I know I can journal these parts. Fighter and protector, yet no one touched me. War zone, yep. Yes, I reached another milestone psychologically talking with my youngest today. I'm understanding the bigger picture. Those stories are gone and they've even passed away. Elephant. Oh, yep, really seeing each other, holding each other. I can so do this. Yes,
Mhm.
you absolutely can.
We all can. We just got to remember we all have to look at both sides. We're grown now. We are not the one that's physically going through it anymore. We don't have to physically hear it anymore. And for those of us that do, we have a way as adults. We can walk away. We can turn it off. We can hang up our phone. We can disconnect, right? But there is a way to heal. You have to learn that part of you is just as beautiful, and you teach the inside person that you are worth it. You get to be the person that that little person inside of you wishes they would have had when they were that age. You get to be that person now. You get to love on them and hug yourself and give yourself high fives and kiss the mirror and take yourself shopping, even if it's just window shopping and you're not buying anything. You get to heal that thing. I live in my 6 to 12-year-old little girl version every day, guys. Every day. Every day I'm walking around smiling, giggling, laughing for no damn reason whatsoever, but just because I want to. I get to do things because I want to. I want to try things. I'm doing things now that I should have done as a kid. that I didn't have the time or the chance to. So, yes, you
Beautiful.
can heal.
Road opener powder, she says, is a combination of herbs, magic, which removes blocks and moves forward. Spell for me to intend and commit to.
Ooh, that
So
sounds
perfect.
powerful.
Add some basil to that.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Ooh, it's almost like I want to like see if there's a recipe or something, and then I want to go to that shop and
Get our
get all the
and make it.
get everything I would need. That sounds powerful. So y'all know, all y'all know who I am. Well, for the most part, I don't know if you do, John, but I I I I deal with the dead. I work with the dead. That is my everyday job, right? So I am dealing with this pirate, right? And I found I found his obituary. I kind of find a little bit of his backlog. And anyway, so in finding this guy and then actually doing some spirit work and getting his backstory as much as I can, um he didn't start out the way he is now, right? And do you know what? I think he is a test for me, right? The type of person I am with making people see that they can change. That's kind of what I do, right? I help people want to cross over that don't want to always cross over, right? They don't always want to let go. They don't always want to leave their loved ones. They don't think that their loved ones are going to make it sometimes if they let go. Or anyway, there's a lot of different reasons. A lot of them don't want to. And some of them, some people call them lost souls. Some people call us rescue mediums. Some people have a lot of different names and titles for us, but I myself just call myself a Ouija, right? So there's this pirate that has made contact with me, and he started out a pretty decent guy. Like, he used to pirate just to take care of his family, right? And he's also from the 1600s, guys. He like was born in the mid to late 1600s, and he died in like the 1720s or something, if I remember correctly. And he's like from a whole nother country. He's a manny, a manix, a manny or something like that, meaning that his bloodline originated from the Isle of Man. Anyway, he was a good guy.
Manix.
Manix or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Manx.
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 I don't know. Anyway, so I'm like getting all this information. And moral of the story is I am gonna turn this man, this pirate, and remind him of what he could do if he would not want to be the bully that he is. Like, he thinks he is just the biggest bully of them all. But yeah, Manix, Manx, yeah. He's I don't know, like he's becoming like a not necessarily he feels like a project, I guess, is, but I don't want him to feel like a project, right? But I mean, he's been dead for hundreds of years, so I don't know. Y'all cross your fingers that I can hopefully get him on the side of good. Because clearly he's got a job to do, so let's see if we can turn that energy around, or at least make him try to remember what he used to stand for. I think would be
Yes,
a better way to do it, maybe. Can't seem to get any information about like his family though. Like, that I would be able, because the longer they are on that side doing this thing that they're doing in the limbo world or yard or whatever you want to call it, they tend to lose the memories of the human existence because it's prepping them to get them ready for the next part of their journey usually. And well, some choose to do what he's doing. And I want him to go somewhere else and do something positive for someone, and I think I can do it. Naruto, hi baby.
Hi.
Yeah, he's very stubborn. Yeah, very, very stubborn.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's messing with my
Hi,
dreams.
Maruda. Welcome.
I'll figure it out.
And if John is still here,
Did he want to read?
British Pirates.
no, I was just gonna explain to John about shadow work. It's we all operate on some level as a wounded child, and so shadow work is to develop our abilities to work past those childhood hurts to normal ourselves. And the quicker that you confront your shadow work, the more quality years you have at the end of your life.
It's more like that's my question about
Well, you could repeat it.
I was well I second that. I was about to ask that. Magnificent.
Maruda, if you would like a reading, go ahead and say me. Um, if not, in the next couple minutes, we will say goodbye because we've run over our hour.
Alright.
Miles had big plans for lots and lots of people to get readings tonight, but messages got some very, very important information. So thank you, Maruda. We will do you next.
Oops, this one hit the floor, Maruda.
So I did. I just put all my cards away. So let me unput. So Maruda, the first card we have is from the Lenormand deck, number 27. The letter. The letter is official correspondence. Contract written in case, not journaling, but directed to another human. And so expect to get one of those forms of communications in the upcoming week. And with your eloquence, I know that to a letter or inquiry. The next card we have is from the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot, and it's one of the 7 deadly sins. And it is the sin of pride. Don't be proud and boastful. It's about being aware when somebody does that around you in the upcoming week. Maybe they think a little too highly of themselves, and you're not going to play that game. You're not going to fall into their illusion to, say, come on, chitter, get off the pot. That's just the no nonsense Maruda talking, and saying I don't have time for that nonsense. You can indulge in that when I'm not around. And then the final card we have is from the Necronomicon Tarot. We have the Guilt Truth Mirror. Now, sometimes when we look at ourselves and regret, I should have taken better care of my skin. I should have I should have moisturized. I shouldn't have stayed out in the sun as long as I had. Maybe I should have had a couple more salads in my life because I'm not liking how fat my face looks. But just remember that is not the truth mirror. That's the guilt mirror. The truth mirror is when you actually open your eyes and truly gaze upon yourself and accept yourself, warts and all, and just embrace who you are because just like everybody else, you can make a promise to do better, but don't beat yourself up if you don't. And that's what I have for you, Madame Maru. Thank you for asking for a reading.
Contemplating, deeply contemplating again.
I love it. It's almost like she was lurking or ear hustling or Miles laying over there and told her or something.
So preserve fell for you. Security, forethought, and thrift. Preserving a harvest allows you to keep it longer instead of losing it to decay or waste. It's a thrifty measure that enables you to rely on the fruits of your labor for an extended period of time. But however, another form of preserving is to put aside a little of what you use every time you use it. This helps build a stockpile to guard against future need. This process is an ongoing low level investment that doesn't take much time or energy. The preserve card reminds you that small gestures accumulate over time. Keep an eye out for the areas where you can be thrifty with your time and energy. This doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself now. Enjoy your harvest, just don't use it all at once simply because it's there. Reflection is how can you work to store and secure what you have successfully produced. And that's it. What are you looking for? The book?
Yeah, where'd the book go? What the hell? Oh, how the hell did it get way back there? Alrighty.
You're welcome, Rita.
Oh, okay, we're picking up. Thank you, Andrea. We will put you in the reading queue.
Okay, so they want me to start on your left and your right, east or west, however you want to call it, past, future, whatever, right? So we're literally on one side of you, there is a seraph, right? And this kind of seraph is literally the one that you need to make a very strong connection with, right? This seraph is from above, right? So I don't know like what dimension, what level. I don't know if it's from that place called heaven or whatever it is. I mean, in my opinion, heaven and hell is both a place on earth, but that's just my opinion. You know, whatever up is to you, it's one of them upper level kind of entities that's coming in, right? So with them comes purity, spiritual advice and guidance, holiness, a prophecy. Something is going to like transcend transcendent transcendence aspiration, right? But The other side of this gorgeous, beautiful seraph is protection, right? So if it's coming from above, that is some pretty damn strong protection. They come with their own disruption tools. So literally, when they're coming in, you could hear literally, as they say, the trumpets are blowing, and also understand that they're using the power of Saturn when they come in. So it could literally even be where they are coming from. They could be coming from a dimension on that level. On the other side, you have a commander that has a manifestation of dream power coming in. So this could actually be like a Sandman, right? So with you having two actual commanding figures walking on both sides of you, it's literally no wonder why when there's literally nothing I can say to that. Like, how do you compete or talk with a commander, a Sandman, or someone that can manifest your dreams, right? That's literally something, body, or someone that can turn the impossible into possible, the unbelievable into believable, right? The unreachable, reachable, the unobtainable, obtainable. They're literally taking something that's freaking damn near impossible and putting it in your lap. They're almost going to put it on a silver plate for you, right? And then you got this one, this upper level kind of seraph coming in, and I don't know if they're anything like tutors or seraphs of before. I believe that even archangels bow to them things. So when you hear those sounds, them horns coming in, if you see or start feeling a connection to Saturn all of a sudden, or the symbol of Saturn starts showing up out of somewhere, synchronicities, pay attention. When you look at your crown right now, look, you have intent and flame. You have candle magic coming in. You have a spirit animal of adversity coming in. So I believe that was in the reading, right? Wasn't that in the book? Isn't something, wait, or well, aspiration. So I don't know if they mean the same or if they're close, if they relate or whatever. But you got vulture, and that's about adversity, right? Vultures are something that are mandatory with life, right? Sometimes they're called bottom feeders, but they help keep things clean, right? They keep the ecosystem in balance, right? But you have candle magic coming in too. So if you're learning candle magic, if it's something that's up there in your crown and it's starting to turn around and you're really, really, really thinking about it, remember that intent and intention comes with the flame, but also it can help you also with the manifesting of the dreams as well. So make sure that you're understanding that your candle and your flame magic has a lot of intent to it. Down in your roots, so down in your roots, you got the five of cups, the five of coins in reverse, right? So you when you think about this isn't necessarily saying that you are not in a place where you are um not maybe even living paycheck to paycheck, because most of us are. But this right here tells me that maybe you're not struggling as hard as you possibly were. But at the same time, like I said, this is just the root system, right? So as long as our needs are met, for real, that's all we need, right? So I think that's what it's talking about because it's in the root position. So this is letting me know, like, well, I know my rent is secure. I know the roof over my head is secure. I know my cell phone bill is secure, right? I also get hermit, right? So again, think about this little square right here in the middle. And what is it? It's the old fashioned hermit going on, right? So because this one isn't in reverse, but it's paired with a card that's in reverse, maybe this is letting me know that it is time to get ready for that. A lot of people are getting ready to get out and get into the summer, but some of us don't get out into the summer. I being one of them. Why? Because of my skin, because of things that I have to learn to live without or to live with. I go out at night in the summer, but I don't go out in the day too much because of my skin, right? So maybe it is a situation like that for you where you don't get out in the summer just because it's too hot or whatever. I don't know. But understand that there is some kind of wonder coming in. And if you see the deck, then you know Maruda, it found me. I had to have it. So when you think about this right here, the wonder of what's coming, right? That closed door is closed for a reason. You have to get into that wonder be through going into hermit mode. So you have to go into that mode to be able to find a way to go through the door. It's not just going to open because you're standing there. That's what I've got for you, babe. You're welcome. You're
Thank you for
welcome. You're welcome.
asking, Maruda.
You're welcome.
And we have Andrea 54 Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Mine from the Lenormand. We have card number 30. Lilies. Stands for purity and virtue and valor. It can also represent a mature male in your life, um, giving you those things. Um, but I think it doesn't come easy to you. So you're going to have to take a break. We have the barrel boy, which is our hanged man. He can't really do anything about his situation. He's there. He self-imposed himself in the barrel, and there's temptations to stay in the barrel, but once you get your enlightenment, you need to come out of the barrel. With our third card being our Ten of Wands, that's carrying burdens. Make sure that you only carry your burdens, younger people's burdens, or the elderly. Get everything done for them or take care of things or handle situations. They're grown ass people. Let them do their part. Don't let them pawn all the work off onto you. And stand strong with that and make it your new MO. I'll help you with that. But, sisters and brothers and coworkers, you got to tread water on your own. This boat ain't coming back to pick you up. And that's my message for you on the conscious side.
So, Andrea, what I got for you is lavender fell out. And lavender is about tranquility, kindness, self care. I love that. It has little stones and crystals in there, balance. Reflection is what area of your life needs kindness right now? Lavender is a popular green witchcraft herb, often associated with peace, tranquility, rest, and relaxation. Its stress relieving properties make it the perfect herb to use in various self care applications, such as in a bath or essential oil. Take a moment to consider whether you've been kind enough to yourself lately. The lavender card is a great reminder to take stock in how you treat yourself. Remember that kindness comes in many forms. You may have been critical of yourself or your body lately. Maybe you have been driving yourself too hard without eating or sleeping properly. Take a moment for yourself. Restore your equilibrium. This is a great time to re examine your life to see what changes you could make to facilitate less stress in general. So, what area of your life needs kindness right now? That's what I got for you.
Wow, that actually, I don't, I mean, I can't say that the whole message is about that, but I can actually say that's where they actually want me to start, right? So when I start on your sides, right, instead of starting in your crown or your roots, I'm starting on your sides, and that one of those sides, there's an archetype, and that archetype is about being programmed, right? It's automation. So this is not an easy archetype for a lot of us because we don't recognize what it is, right? So when you look at the card itself, it's all about all the little pieces, right, that are all steampunk together, right? You can take a bunch of pieces and put it together and put four wheels on it, and you can make a rat rod, right? And you're actually going to make a car. It doesn't mean to be pretty, but it can be a car, right? You can also do the same thing, right? Open the curtain, you can have a puppet, you can have it on a string, or you can have it completely automated. And that's what it's about. So when we're dealing with that subconscious, that's the part we're dealing about, right? So the unconscious, this is below the subconscious, right? This is one of them hidden trap doors. Like I said, I never know what part of the archetype I'm going to get. I don't know if it's going to hit the subconscious or if it's going to hit the unconscious. This one goes directly into one of them damn trap doors, and either we have to find the trigger button or we have to find a way to open that. And the way to do that is to look on the other side of the coin, and that's what this is about. So when you think about one part of somewhere in that unconscious, that part of the mind is always usually programmed and robotic. It has an auto response, auto habit, whether it is good or bad. It becomes very predictable, even when we can't see it for ourselves. That predictability is our pattern of a behavior. It's usually emotionless or fake, right? That's the part that some people don't want to own about themselves, right? They don't want to take them mask off. They don't want to take it off for other people because they don't know how other people are going to be. Then they're okay when they're sitting by themselves. They don't have to have that kind of problem because they don't see that they're sitting in a comfort zone, right? Well, when you work on that shadow, and like I said, we have to take words that people are every day using, right? You can't take words from a psychological point of view and think that everybody is going to understand it and go over there. So you have to take the time to psychologically break that word into another meaningful word that we can recognize, right? So when we recognize autopilot, that's something that we can relate to, right? Because people either have it on their car, or they have it on their clock, they have it on their phone, they have it on their light, their TV, they can have it in their lights anymore. Everything can be auto programmed, right? Their coffees, their teas, everything. But we ourselves can. So because this one is a hidden trigger, you may not even be aware that it is floating in there. But I bet if you start looking for those patterns that people can predict you by, when they be like, girl, I could have said a wax by you because you're going to do it every time. Yeah, buddy. They recognize it too, right? They may not be able to pinpoint what it is that it is triggering it to happen. That's your part of it. But they could be someone that is worthy of you, and it could learn to accept the constructive criticism and grow from it because you have moth, right? And when you think about this moth, and again, I could tell your whole subconscious and conscious with one card, but they've got me going all over the place here, right? Look, people say, well, I don't have to worry about you because I carry a rope with me everywhere I go, because literally I'm going to give you the rope. If you're meant to be my friend, we're going to make a ladder. But if not, you're going to hang yourself and I'm going to recognize it. And when you're done, I'm going to get my rope back and I'm going to give it to the next person and I'm going to move it about my business, right? So that is actually a form of self-care, right? We can literally tie a candle to one end, tie a candle to the other end. We can burn the rope. We can burn the ties, right? We can learn to use that rope in so many ways for protection for ourselves, right? We can lay it over the top of our doors. And when someone that has ill intent or deceiving ways or a mask, trust me, every time they walk through that door, that rope's going to fall. Other than that, it's going to stay up there. It ain't going to fall. It's going to balance itself, right? So also understand that it got paired with the energy of a moth. So make sure that you understand that even if you are not quite that gorgeous moth yet, and you're somewhere in the cocoon and you're in your metamorphosis kind of age stage, when you come out, don't just take off. Don't do it. Sit there, be patient. Let those gorgeous, beautiful wings dry fully, because it's not going to matter what you land on, because you're going to know that those wings will carry you and they will be able to support you no matter how unstable of an object is that you have to land on, or how delicate a part of your life is. that you need to open up about. So over on the other side, you've got the wizards coming in and you've got a fighter, right? So you do have a very strong person or archetype on the other side of you, which is still you, a version of you, a part of you that is a fighter that keeps believing and breaking free, breaking out of this old ways. They want to change, right? So what do? You become an alchemist, right? You go and you come out of this energy and you allow this energy to come in. It's like letting your male energy calm down, go to sleep, go take a rest, right? If you're a Gemini like I am, I got the tail TC. Bitch, go to sleep. No, you too much right now, right? You have to learn to let that fighter energy and defense go away. You're not defending anything. You are with yourself. You're working on yourself for yourself. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So understand the energy when it comes in. It's trying to tell you to let that fighter go and let it turn. Let the alchemist in you out and magically turn it into something else, right? Also, up there in your crown, what you've got going on is a bunch of confusion and trickery going on, but there is a way around it. They are pairing you with a very powerful great white shark, right? And it's all about the power, right? What is the shark, right? Outside of the whales, he is almost, he would, I mean, I don't know if I could call him a king, but he's Jaws, right? I would probably call a whale a king of the ocean, right? Like we call the lion the king of the jungle, right? But a shark is absolutely Jaws. It's absolutely territorial. It's a predator. It's going to do what it needs to do. It has and comes with and represents power. You have the ability in your brain to get rid of all of this fogginess, this can't see. No, burn it off. You have the ability in your crown to let it go. Down in your roots, you have your ancestors coming in, and they are coming in so strong, right? They're coming in paired together. So they're coming in two at a time. Every single time they come in, they're coming in and they're giving you a ace of cups. They're guaranteeing it because they paired it with the fool. They want you to do this stuff. You just have to stop fighting with yourself all the time. You cannot cut your nose off to spite your face and think you're still going to be able to breathe. You can't do that. You have to stop it. You have to. You just have to find those triggers. And once you find them, you can literally turn it into something else. And that's what I've got for you.
Thank you, ladies, for being with me tonight and
You're so
giving
welcome.
these beautiful messages.
You're so welcome.
Thank you to everybody in the chat.
Thank you, thank you. And to anybody that hits
Future watchers. I was like, future watchers are non-chatters.
Yeah, I didn't mean to talk over you. I apologize.
No, forgive me.
And thank
Oh,
you.
go ahead.
You're
I just wanted to thank everybody for coming and for hanging out with us.
So-
you know how You're so welcome.
We're so blessed to be in your company. Valuable chatters and watchers, and thank you for trusting us with your deepest desires to heal. Thank you to Hershe. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and go out and make it a great night. Bye, everyone.
Good night. And thank you for putting on your crown, Maruda.